Yo, what is up, guys? It is Chef Dan from Flavor Fit Food. I got my cat eyeing me over my right shoulder because I am holding these Bison Sloppy Joes, and they are tasty as hell. They are low in fat, they are higher in protein than your normal Sloppy Joe, and they are packed with flavor, whether you're trying to lose fat or build muscle. All right, so I'm gonna walk you through this recipe the entire step of the way. It is super easy. You can whip it up really fast, and it'll yield you 5 portions of the Sloppy Joe to get you through your week or your meal prep or whatever it is you're doing. Make sure to hit like and subscribe and stick around to the end of the video where I will give you a slide with the full calories, protein, carbs, and fat breakdown of this recipe and talk about how you can work it into your diet strategy. All right, let's get in the kitchen and whip up these Sloppy Joes. All right, first up, we're gonna measure out all of the ingredients. I have a tube of tomato paste. I like the tube because you can just seal it back up and save it for later. And we're gonna need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. The next ingredient is just a classic yellow mustard. You can use whatever brand that you'd like. And we need 2 teaspoons of yellow mustard. Third up, we have Worcestershire, or however you say it. I'm a chef and I can barely even say it. We need 1 tablespoon of that stuff. The fourth ingredient that we are going to gather is apple cider vinegar. I like this Bragg's Organic Apple Cider Vinegar brand. And we are going to take 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And the last kind of wet ingredient that will make up our sauce is this Grandma's molasses. I don't know why it says robust on there, but I guess Granny has that robust flavor. And we need 1 tablespoon of her molasses. Okay, and then the last kind of wet ingredient we have is this can of beans. I have a red chili bean, but you can use any bean, like a black bean or something like that, as long as it doesn't have a bunch of additives in it. They're all similar calories and macros. So I'm just gonna pop it open, got out my colander, and we are gonna rinse these off and get them nice and clean and ready to add to the Sloppy Joes. Then we're gonna take 4 cloves of garlic. We're gonna peel them up. Then we're gonna mince them, just really fine, get a nice mince on them because we want them evenly distributed. And we're gonna put them in a bowl and set them aside. Next we have 1 white onion, which we are going to have. We're gonna peel it, and we are once again going to cut it into a small dice. All right, so at this point, all of the prep work is pretty much done. We're just gonna fire up our pan. I have my trusty old cast iron skillet. Don't be fooled by the appearance of this guy. This thing is an animal. I love cooking on a cast iron. So we have our 1 pound of our organic bison. Got my pan at about medium heat. And we've got kind of a time lapse going on. I'm just letting this sit and get a nice caramelization because I didn't add any fat to the pan. So I want it to kind of like slowly release some fat. And I added my onions about 2 minutes in. And we're just gonna kind of bust this up and just let this fat keeping render. And it's gonna like really infuse with these onions. And I'm cooking this whole process, this whole browning thing, it was about 5 minutes. And after this 5 minutes, you can see there's still a little bit of pink in the bison. And we're just gonna add our garlic. We're gonna add another pinch of salt. Every time you add a new ingredient, you should add a little pinch of salt to layer the flavor. And we are going to sweat this garlic for about 1 minute. And we are gonna add our beans. The beans are already cooked, so we only need to kind of saute them in the mix for maybe 30 seconds just to kind of warm them up a little bit. I added all of the wet ingredients into 1 bowl. When you measure them, you can put them in 1 bowl. Here, like I did, it's easier to add them in. I just wanted to show you the visual of it, but we are going to add all of the wet ingredients in. And once you drop these wet ingredients in, you only have to cook it for about a minute. We're just bringing it together. You don't want to cook this down super heavy. You just want to coat everything evenly in this sauce. It's going to create like a nice, tangy, mustardy, almost barbecue kind of flavor. And look at these Sloppy Joes. They are so good. I cannot wait to dig into these, and I'm sure that you are going to love them as well. Let's show you how I plate them, and we'll talk about the macros, the calories, and kind of the diet strategy aspect of it. All right, so for this meal, I bought these Pepperidge Farm onion rolls. You could buy like a whole wheat bun or some kind of a different like sub bun situation or whatever you want. I just really like onions, and these onion rolls look good for me today. So usually what I do is I just throw them under the broiler. If you have like a toaster oven, you can do that. I don't, so I just chuck them under the broiler for a minute, get them nice and golden brown. So we have our toasted bun. I'm gonna put my 3/4 cup serving size on the bun, and then you could eat it just like this if you're trying to like lose weight, keep your calories super low. I'm actually kind of going through a little bit of a lean bulk right now. So I added a piece of white American cheese, slapped it under the broiler, and broiled it until that cheese was nice and gooey and melty. And then pro tip, because mustard basically has no calories in it, whether you put cheese on it or not, I like to take a little bit of yellow mustard and drizzle it on top. It really kind of makes that mustard barbecue tangy flavor pop a lot more, and it doesn't add any more calories into it. And behold, the Bison Sloppy Joe in all of its glory, and I have to say I destroyed that thing as soon as I filmed that shot, and it was absolutely delicious. So let's get into the calories and macros. First of all, this recipe yields 5 portions. Portion is about 3/4 cup. It's going to vary a little bit depending on the size of the onion, things like that. If you really are being meticulous about fat loss, you are best to make the recipe, weigh the entire thing, and then divide it by 5 in grams, and that will give you a very, very accurate reading, so you can make sure that you are not overeating on your calories. And then extrapolating on the calories, 1 portion of this is 260 calories. That does not include the bun or anything. That is just the meat. Protein has 22.5 grams of protein, 20.8 grams of carbohydrates, and 8.75 grams of fat. So the portion that I showed you earlier without the cheese on that onion bun, including the bun, was only 410 calories, and it's very filling with the meat and the beans and the bun and stuff like that. So that is a very good bang for your buck in terms of a fat loss meal. And like I said, if you want to bulk it up, you can add some sliced cheese or something like that. If you are, in fact, trying to gain weight, build muscle, eat in a calorie surplus. And I usually eat this meal with some sort of like sweet potato, because I like I like the bun on burgers and stuff when I can get away with it to be like a white bun, and then I eat like a complex carb with the meal in the form of like a sweet potato fry or a sweet potato mash or like a brown rice and quinoa medley or something like that. But there you have it, guys. This is a super simple recipe. You can make it once. You can eat them the whole week. You can have one a night, Monday through Friday, or like I am doing right now when I make these, I'm scarfing like 2 of them for dinner because, like I said, I am trying to lean bulk, trying to gain a little bit of muscle. But this is a very versatile recipe for fat loss. It's a very versatile recipe for eating at a calorie surplus, and you can have a lot of wiggle room to play with it. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. My name is Chef Dan from Flavor Fit Foods. Hit me up down in the comments if there is any recipes or any favorite foods that you would like me to give a healthy twist and break down the calories and macros so you can work them into your diet. Peace out. I will catch you next time.